Hey, Hood News peeps, how are you guys doing? Guess who I've got here with me right now?
Matching camisas.
Yes. How you doing, friend? Hey, good to see you.
Morning, afternoon.
Hey,
what is
afternoon.
It's 3 o'clock.
When you said that earlier, I almost died. I was like, please, no, let's get past this today because we're ready. I'm ready to almost go home.
Oh, man.
What's for dinner tonight, friend?
Tonight, turkey spaghetti.
Turkey spaghetti.
Turkey ground meat and spaghetti. It was
Yes.
sauced up last night, late night, and so it's seasoned all day.
right.
Spaghetti is the meal that's awesome the next day.
Yeah, it is.
It's like chili.
Yes.
Or menudo.
Yeah. Ooh.
Or anything soup,
Yeah,
right? Anything
yeah.
with the seasoning has to like collect.
Yeah, yes.
The next day it tastes better. Any kind of
It's
casserole.
very true. That's very
right?
true. Yeah.
But then
casseroles too.
other things like meats, like steak's terrible the next day. Seafood's awful the next day to me.
Yeah.
What about chicken?
Yeah, well, chicken is gross. If you reheat it, it tastes really different to me.
So if it's smoked right and it's juicy,
yeah, then that's
it can be okay the next day.
Yeah.
The one thing you cannot reheat is fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken is just I'd rather eat it cold for some reason than
Shout out Larry Edwards though, my pops.
Hey.
My dad will eat a half a box of cold Popeyes the day after.
Yeah.
He loves it. He will not warm it up, and he loves eating
likes
cold fried chicken. He
cold
loves
fried-
it.
Wow.
So, hey.
Shout out to Pops. We love you. We see you. Yes, friend. So I'm here with Lance Edwards from Triple C Power Roofing. From roof repairs to solar fencing. We've talked about
Right,
that.
right.
Got some new technology out there. Triple C Power Roofing has you covered, friends. And we're hoping that everybody's doing good. We're here to spread the word about, what they offer to services and some stories too. You got some war stories and we're going to get into it. Check in, peeps. Can you guys hear me? Give me some thumbs up.
No, I hope they can
All
hear us.
Yeah, I think they can.
I think we're both loud enough.
Yeah, we are.
Except for the other night when you were like walking around the streets for 5 hours.
Oh my God.
Whispering.
Yeah, I was whispering. That's not common. That's not common.
One of my friends and I both woke up in the middle of the night. Was that Saturday night?
Yeah, no, it was like a Wednesday night, I think.
No, it was Friday or Saturday.
Which one? The SWAT? Oh, the
SWAT.
Saturday.
The
Saturday,
SWAT.
yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was Saturday.
Off of Irvington.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, friends.
And so
Yeah.
we both woke up and we're like, hey man, I haven't talked to you in a month. And we're like chatting on your during your
That's
live.
so cool. Yeah, that
But-
guy was in a I guess it was like a Dodge Charger, and he just didn't want to pull over for officers, and it started somewhere off of 296-10 area. Then it went towards like the San Felipe 610. Then he brought it back to the hood and parked his car in reverse. Went inside, tried to escape out the back door, but it couldn't happen. So he just stayed barricaded inside the house. That's crazy.
Y'all Hood News peeps crazy. You ladies are crazy talking about why all the criminals got to be tall and handsome.
Oh yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning,
The
it's like, hey,
chiquitas.
y'all need to go back to sleep.
Yeah, we got a group.
Y'all need to go back to sleep.
Yes, we got a group called the Chiquitas. That's like all the single ladies out there, that have some feedback about some of these criminals and law enforcement too. Yeah,
No, I got you.
Yeah. I see you
got
got
you.
your beard trimmed up.
I did.
Good,
I had to get the
friend.
beard game going for today's live.
Yes. What's
It
up?
is. It's the middle of June, and we're almost to the 4th of July, so I got to do it good for Independence Day.
Yes. Friends, speaking of, because we're coming across those months already. What's on the forefront for you guys? Are you guys preparing for like this crazy weather that we're seeing?
Yeah, so I mean, we're past the point of no return pretty much
Okay.
for people that have missing shingles on their roof.
Okay.
It's kind of a 1-2 punch between shingles that are missing and flashings that are loosened.
Yes.
I was at a house the other day where the flashing was like up on a big vent at a 45-degree angle, just inviting water to come in. So what we want to do is we want to get out there and maintenance that. We want to caulk it down, nail it down, and just make sure it's sealed off. And if it's really rusted out, maybe repaint it or something just to kind of hold it over. Because you don't want that rust to spread. But it's just things like that, when we see a big hole from a missing 3-tab shingle, and in the middle of those holes, the nails are starting to rust or the nails are loose. Like that rusting is a sign that it is now not part of that shingle. And that is a invitation point for water to start seeping into it. And then once that hole gets, attacked, it's going to start widening.
Yeah.
And that's when the water just comes trickling in and the brown spots start showing up.
Yeah, and that's
on your
exactly
roof,
that's
on your
exactly
ceiling.
what I had in my house. Like he'll tell you, I had all of that too.
So those areas, if you haven't been able to afford the $10,000 roof, you got to pay somebody $250, $300, $400. We'll do a $400 maintenance package, which will include tarping up areas where the shingles are missing, and also preparing all those loose flashings. It just depends on the magnitude of the work. We really don't like charging more than that. And what we do offer at Triple C, it's written on our repair contract, is that you're going to get a credit for whatever we have to spend on your house for 2 years, up to 2 years. If you buy a roof, we'll knock that price off the roof.
Oh,
and so you might, you're just going to mark up the price. Nah, man, my price is $450 a square.
Okay.
And it's a $2,000 right now or a $1,500 Grizzy Hood News discount.
Okay.
Right?
Listen,
and then
folks.
you would get that $400 or $800 off, whatever we have to do. If it's a big 2-story house and you have 17 vents and a huge chimney and all your window flashing is loose, I mean, we're going to spend more than $400 replacing it.
Okay.
If you've got 25 missing shingles on your roof and you just won't replace it, or you can't afford to, and you need some repairs done, I mean, look, it looks ghetto
Yeah.
when you got a black roof and
Yeah,
brown shingles.
yes,
Like they're sticking out like a
yes.
sore thumb. But I'd rather look ghetto than have a leak in my house.
There you
and,
go.
And that's what we want. We want people to make that right choice.
Yeah.
So look,
Yeah.
the work that that happens after the hurricane, when you're in the 11th hour and you're like, oh, I might have a bad leak or a potential bad leak, those charges are going to be way higher. Like even my crews will go out, and if they'll finish a roof at 3:00 in the afternoon. They might go out and go rogue and go find a couple houses down the street that I didn't see, and they'll knock on the door and be like, "We're here. Do you want us to fix this for $1,000?" But you could have got it done with us for $400.
For $400.
And honestly, at our company, we make a little bit of money just for the markup on the materials, but we got to pay the labor, and our guys are qualified to do it. So, again, it's a lot of oversee and overview. Guys do charge too much in the heat of the storm. So at any point right now, like probably not in the next 2 weeks, but between now and the next time y'all see me hanging out with Grizzy here, like there could be a storm that hits mid-July, just like last time.
Yeah.
But at any point in time, that puts me to my next point of putting my number in your phone.
All right, put your phone number. Put his phone
Yeah.
number in the phone. Let's go. What is
So
it?
it's 832-520-1029. It's on the chat. It's in the comments. Lock that number in, because if a hurricane hits and you have significant tropical wind, even hurricane forced winds on your roof or in your neighborhood, like make an all call for us to come look at your house, maybe your neighbor's house. That inspection's free. That is for all roofers, mainly to get in the door with you.
Yes.
So you have that know, like, and trust factor, which is what we're offering you here through Grizzy's Hood News, because we love you, we love Grizzy,
I
and
love
we want to do
y'all
right
too.
for the
Yes.
community, right?
Yes.
So when the storm hits, we'll come assess what's going on with the house. 9 times out of 10, a roofer is going to come to your house and say, oh yeah, you have damage, a storm hit, make a claim. But what if you don't really have damage?
Yeah, I was going to ask you,
Right.
how do people know?
I can tell you right now, I'm going to use Pearland as an example.
Pearland, listen up.
All right. Pearland has some beautiful homes.
Yes.
Pearland had some beautiful roofs, architectural shingle installed 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Sugar Creek, parts of Sugarland, Missouri City, Stafford, some beautiful neighborhoods and some great homes. Same thing. Those shingles are still rocking. They're
Okay.
20, 25 years old. They're granulated. You won't get a claim in a hailstorm, right? Because the granulations eroded out, right?
Yeah.
However, the shingles and the integrity of the roof, like, it's good to go. Now, the ridges, some cheap 3-tap that may have been thrown up there to cut a corner 20 years ago, all those ridges blew out.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Blew out.
yeah.
So, like, impactful ridge damage might lead to some shingling tearing up or some uplifting and the shingles peeling back, right?
Peeling back, yeah.
The wind doesn't peel it back, it uplifts it. The pressure suctions it up.
Oh, yeah, like,
Right?
Yeah.
That wind going over the house and whipping suctions it up. All right? But those ridges being replaced, there's a price point for that.
Okay.
Like maybe $25, maybe $50
Okay.
per 10 feet.
Okay.
Now there's a cost for the high end shingle. There's a cost for the cheap 3-tap. But you got to get something that'll just hold you over to replace those ridges. Insurance agents might come out and just see a few blown out ridge shingles and be like, "Look, y'all can fix that for $75 of material and an hour, $100 worth of manpower."
Right.
So they're not going to ever meet your deductible, which means you're not going to get a full roof replacement. But everybody wants that claim. And what happens is, and I've talked to so many Hood News peeps, Grizzy, it's not even funny. Well, I called my brother's cousin or my ex-wife's son-in-law, whatever. And he came out to my house. He told me to file a claim. I didn't get the money, and they never talked to me again.
Dang.
Because they're chasing the claim money,
Yeah.
right? So if you have my number in your phone, first of all, you're going to get an assessment to tell you whether you need to call your insurance or not. At least we can get up there. If we can't get eyeballs on it immediately, we can get a drone on it. or at least we can see some shingle damage from the street. If we see damage, we can know that we can possibly make a claim on it. If we see damage in the right spots.
Okay.
We got so many calls to Pearland where we just did like $400 or $500 repair jobs, like we told you earlier.
Yes.
And then we just gave them credits because they didn't have actual shingles on the decking blown out. It was just ridges and hips that had blown out. And those are quick fixes. It's easy to do. It's not going to break your pocketbook. But at the same time, sometimes it's not worth making a claim on.
Yeah.
Especially if your house has a 20-year-old roof on it.
Yeah,
They're going to go, okay, your roof's 20 years old. Yeah, that ridge looks bad. And that hip looks bad. But it's not something that we can't just caulk up and re-nail some shingles down to prevent the leaks from getting in on those ridges and those hips. So you have an opportunity to hold over without making that insurance claim.
Okay.
And then sometimes it's just time. The other factor is people were getting claims made, denied, and when they were denied, the next month they were said, hey, by the way, while we inspected your roof and we didn't give you money to replace your roof because it had minimal damage, we did notice your roof kind of stinks. So now we're going to drop you from your insurance unless you buy a new one out of pocket.
Oh.
So not only did you not get money to replace your roof, now they're telling you your roof is outdated.
Dang.
Needs a little love.
Yeah.
Or telling you it sucks. And so now they're forcing you to replace your roof. So we've been getting a lot of phone calls like, I can't afford to replace my roof. Do you have financing? Yes, we have financing.
Yes, they do.
Right?
Yes.
Which leads to Genevieve, your number one fan. I hope she's on here today.
Hey, what's up, Genevieve?
I don't know if she's on here today, but she hooked us up last time. I was in here a month ago.
Okay.
And then we did her roof 2 Fridays ago down in El Lago.
Okay.
And the whole neighborhood was like,
wow.
She's a house right by the pool. And everybody's looking by going, ooh, that roof looks good. She got the Barkwood GAF Timberline HDZ.
There you go.
50-year warranty.
Wow.
We did all the bells and whistles. We cut out most of her front fascia. And it looks like she has a brand new entryway.
Nice.
So it's a beautiful looking home, beautiful looking roof that's now on it.
Where is that? What part of town is that?
El Lago's near Seabrook, Kemah.
Seabrook. Okay,
yeah,
Kemah. Hey, shout out League City, Kemah in the house.
So El Lago down there, right off 146 before you get into Kemah.
Yeah.
So just north of it. So the moral of the story is, Genevieve was like, I know I can't pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. So I'll tell you what her price was. Her price was like $15,500.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
After her Grizzly discount.
Yeah.
Which she loves.
Yay.
Okay. We got her into a plan for $200 a month, basically.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the plan is 10 years, so it's lengthy.
Yeah.
But if she can afford like $300 a month or $350 every now and then, she can pay it off early to cut back on the interest. There's no early payoff penalty.
When there's that extra money, she can just put it into that and get it out the way. Yeah.
So, and we are financed through Slice, which is First National Bank of Omaha.
Okay.
So it's a reputable choice. Other people might use I can't think of the name of some of the other. There's some other really
but
good
there's
programs
different
out there.
options.
Like Foundation Lending is another company.
Okay.
Like there's other companies out there. Some people were using like Mosaic to do roofs, and like Mosaic filed bankruptcy. It's a big solar company. But,
wow. Yeah.
or you can just go to your bank and see if you're eligible for a HELOC. Again, there's different ways to pay for your roof. Don't just think that you have to give me $15,000.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, she even called and got a couple $100 knocked off her insurance as well.
Nice.
And we've seen that in almost every case. Had another Jersey Village roof. They got $700 knocked off their annual premium after installing one of our roofs.
Wow.
And it's just because, like I said, we give you the registry. Most insurance companies are going to have, whether it's CertainTeed, Owens Corning, us with GAF roofing, they know what those products are, and they know who the companies are that install them in a certified way. And so they know who's going to be able to qualify for discounts off your premium, because now you're lowering the risk of that roof and water getting into that house.
Yeah, you're protecting your house. Yeah.
So making sure it has the proper. Right now, the big thing is the starter strips, right? And that's what the TDI, and all the inspectors out there, people that live in windstorm areas like Brazoria County, Galveston County. Matagorda County, to name all the lists. I mean, we install that no matter if you live in Cypress or Texas City. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter where you live. We install it anyway.
Okay.
And they say that stuff is just powerful on that edge to seal down that drip, to seal down that underlayment, and to make sure those starter shingles aren't going to pop up or get any wind underneath them. So
nice.
And also to prevent the runoff leaking from gutters that overflow and stuff like that too. So having that system in place is just huge, and the insurance implications. they're pretty nice. It's pretty nice to get a discount. Did you take advantage of your discount yet? Did you call your insurance and tell them what you installed?
Me, I don't have insurance.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of those.
Oh, money bags, paid cash for that house.
Yeah. I'm telling friends that. Look, when I say I'm hood as hell. Like
That's blessing though.
The Hood News house was like a $50,000 cash house.
Right.
And I'm like, I can walk away from it if it explodes or something goes
Right.
down. I'm like,
I forgot you paid me. You put the money in a paper towel roll.
Yeah.
Handed it to me. Somebody's
That's
passing
like,
cash.
friends, when I paid them the cash, I had to be careful with bank triggers. No, seriously, I went and got the money out the bank because I paid for my roof cash. I'm like an old school. My daddy taught me a lot of different things, but I wish I was more savvy financially. But anyways, I paid him with I put the money in a cereal box.
It was a cereal box. Now that I think about it, I was just kind of making a joke
Yeah,
about the paper towel roll.
No,
But
yeah.
she did it. It was like cereal or Cheez-Its or
Yeah,
something.
it was Cheez-Its, yes. I put the money in the Cheez-Its box. I said, man, look, we got all kinds of jack boys out here. Somebody's going to rob us. Be careful. And yeah, Lance was like, what? But you can tell he's hood certified. My friend's hood certified.
Look, I was down on Edgebrook until I was 10, down in South Houston area.
There you go.
So
Okay.
I got Edgebrook and Shaver,
Street
right?
cred. Yeah, you know what's up.
No, Triple C stands for
Triple-
Character, Commitment, Customer Service, and Cash Inside Cheez-It boxes.
Yes, friends. Man, like that's what behind the behind the Hood News story right there. I'll never forget. And I was so concerned. I remember keeping my head on the swivel on my way home. I was like, man, like this is crazy business right here.
And the house down from the street from you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you what's going on.
So
with
like
that?
there is an update, like they're in some kind of arbitration now to determine how much money to help your neighbor. So it's a pretty cool process right there.
One of my own neighbors is a customer through one of my other neighbors that lives across the street. Shout out to Miss Banks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we gotta keep Miss Banks count. We gotta make sure I pay her that referral fee.
Referral. And she's out there, baby. She's got cards and she's telling everybody about Lance. Yes, Triple C Power Roofing, friends. Give me some thumbs up. Can you guys hear us? We're here live here with Lance Edwards from Triple C Power Roofing. For all your roofing needs, call them today, 832-520-1029. Or you can follow them on the website, which is going to be www.triplecpowerroofing.net. Yes.
We just revamped that website too, so we're gonna start telling more of these stories on the website. So
that's so cool.
Pretty fun. Oh, we got 23 comments.
Yes. Let me see what else we got. Look
at that. My boy Ashley Elam says Lance is always loud enough.
Who's
that? He used to be sports director at KBMT over in Channel 12 in
Shout
Beaumont.
out to him. Yeah,
So he's a Beaumont Hood News peep.
Yeah, we got a lot of Hood News peeps out in Beaumont. Yeah.
He's a P&G guy, so we won't call him out for that.
Shout out to Corey Crenshaw. Yes, everybody's favorite snack out there in Beaumont.
So there's like Pagan McKelvey. So I would like info. My roof is still messed up since the storm last year. So let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you have until July 8th, so like 2 weeks away, to file that claim for most insurances. Like they don't want to take a denial. They don't want to take a claim a year after a storm hits.
Okay.
So if you're really interested, I'll talk to you after this. I'll make sure my number's on here. You can text me right now during this live.
Yes.
And as soon as we're done, I will contact you. There you go. My insurance company is giving me hell, is what Pagan says. So, if they've already denied you, we can help you fight that. So we have attorneys in place on our staff.
Yes, he does.
Partnerships with Chidi Oha, my boy. So
he can turn that no into a yes. Like you literally, like we were just talking about that.
We had a story where a woman had about $2,500 given to her to replace her roof. They were only going to replace like 23% of the roof or something. Oh my God. And she had pool damage, AC damage, all of the above. And somebody's like, hey, I heard about this guy Lance on the Hood News. You should reach out to him. She watched the video and called. Oh. And basically, like, it's turning into like a $32,000 claim. It's already been denied, so it's fought at court. So she gets that money to help recover, and it's helped paying for the pool damage. It's helped paying for like a new AC, I believe.
Yeah, that's
skylight
so
replacement and a brand new roof.
Look at that, friends. So they got the power, legally too, to go after what is rightfully yours. Let me show them the website real quick, friend.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Let me show them. So they have revamped it. Go to www.triplecpowerroofing.net. And if you want to take a screenshot of that right there, bam, bam, and yeah, this is their website. So they're up and they are launched.
Therese Therese Teixeira, she was basically saying, what's the number? I need an estimate.
All right.
So I will reach out to her. She's like, I got to get back to work.
All right.
So the
all
number
right.
was posted at the top. But
Yeah.
if you're still listening, Therese, it's 832-520-1029. Matter of fact, I'll try to message you before I even get off this live. Stephanie Sandoval saying, I have Allstate and they are horrible. Look, I have Allstate and like I respect my Allstate agents. Your insurance agent that works for you, it's all about the personal relationship that you have with that agent. Yeah, insurance companies have a bunch of desk workers, right? The inspectors come out, they're like, oh yeah, we need to make a claim on this. You have an awful roof today. The storm did you really dirty, right?
Yeah.
But then some desk operator sitting in a big office in Manhattan is the one that ultimately underwrites and makes the decision.
Yeah,
whether or not
not
you
so
get
much
that
the
roof.
one here.
It's not
yeah.
the person with that personal connection with you. So, then you have to turn it over to your Allstate agent and be like, look, I've been a customer for X number of years. You were recommended to me. If you haven't met your insurance agent, meet your insurance agent. Like if you got assigned insurance when you bought your first house through escrow,
Yeah.
like shop for your insurance, find an agency. Even State Farm in some cases. We had a case from another Hood News peep that watched us,
Yeah.
Rick and Teresa Gallant down in LaPorte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean
LaPorte
they had a
Beach.
$27,000 deductible.
Wow.
Deductible.
Yeah.
But they had an assessment and it was fair, and they got them like a $62,000 ruling.
Wow.
So they're gonna have more than enough money to get all the things fixed that they need to get fixed.
That's amazing.
On their like 4,700 square foot roof down there next to Sylvan Beach in LaPorte.
That's a big house, right? That's a pretty.
It's a pretty big house.
Yeah.
The garage took up about 20% of that, but still, they had a lot. They had damages, and they even had leaks from the last rain 2 weekends ago or last
yeah,
weekend,
that's not,
right?
Yeah, that's gotta be horrible.
So they're holding on, and here we are. We're about to get the work started and completed in just a couple of days for them. But they've been nervous about it because they didn't know exactly what to do. So even if it's a bigger company, you can't just dog the insurance. You got to know who your agent is. And then if you don't know your agent and they're just going to deny you, well then denial is okay.
Yeah.
Denial is not the final answer. Sometimes you're deductible, and sometimes the words written in policies had a guy down in Siena area. Had this like degradation of like, we're only going to pay 33% of your deductible or over deductible for your roof. We're only going to cover 33% of your roof. So your deductible, let's say your deductible is $15,000,
2,000. Yeah.
right? And your roof is rated at a 33% level or a 25% level based on how old it is.
Yeah.
So they're not going to give you a full roof replacement. It's going to be depreciated in its value.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay for half your roof or a third of your roof or a quarter of your roof.
That's struggle.
There's insurances that are written like that. If
Yeah.
your policy is written like that, when you shop for your new policy, if you're just about to buy a house, this is important. Like,
Listen,
ask
friends,
them.
yes.
Like if you have a 5-year roof on that house, if you have a 10-year roof or older, maybe negotiate to get a new roof.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, like, I don't want to break you out, but I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
That's
we
true.
work with realtors in the area.
Okay.
So
Shout
we
out
do
to
we
our
do
realtors.
we do a no deposit, no payment until closing. So if a seller's trying to sell a house with a 15 or 20-year-old roof and the buyer's demanding, I want a new roof, and the seller's like, I don't have 20K to leave you. Well, if you want full value for that house and you want that customer, that buyer to not back out, like you can negotiate, and then after that closing, if you give me a 2 or 3 day period and we coordinate everything, they can just leave that money at title. We'll gladly go pick up the money at title.
All right,
for no
there you
deposit.
go, friends.
Like
There you
there's
go,
there's ways around it. You shouldn't have to spend that money out of your pocket just to satisfy getting a home sold.
There you go. Real estate
So-
peeps. Listen, we got a lot of real estate agents out there that follow the Hood News. So
Andrew Shin, thank you for sharing my number in the chat. Appreciate
yes,
you.
Yes.
So yeah, someone said they still have tarps and nervous every time it rains. Tarps blow away too. My friend out in Katy, her insurance company put up the tarp, and the tarp just blew away. And then they came back and said, "Well, there's no damages, so we're not paying you for your roof."
Oh my
If there's no damages, then why did you put up a tarp that was 500 square
500
feet?
square feet, yeah.
Right? So just small things like that. Oh, Stephanie says she's also a realtor in Katy. So there you go.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
Stephanie, thank you for watching us and reaching out today.
Homeowners, give me some hearts, man, because this is like, we're talking to
Gonzalez.
the people with the houses ready to, like, we got to protect our little casitas, we have to. It's storm season is up ahead. Some of us, like me, like I went to Lance for my roof, and my roof was triple C roofing certified now, but it was horrible. It was probably mush. Bullet holes went into my roof. I live in the hood, so I had bullet holes from maybe they shot up my house and I just had no clue. I don't know, friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen some things, like, seriously.
So Lamora Cole, I just want to answer her. She's talking about she has had Allstate forever and hasn't made a claim, and now she's worried, right? Seeing all these reviews. So what I'm going to tell you is, do you know your Allstate agent, or did you buy it from a broker that just shopped the price, right? If you don't know an agent, if you don't know your agent, or if they own or an agency owner, right? I can put you in contact with this my guy. I have Allstate. I go through an agency. He lives out in the Richmond, Sugarland area. He works at a Sugarland office. But they can review your policy for you without changing anything, just to tell you what you have.
Oh, okay.
Like those Allstate agents, and I'm sure State Farm's the same way. Like they want to be able to look at it and say, oh, by the way, why don't you have your car insurance with us? Because I don't pay anything. I pay like $80 a month for my big old truck, and I drive 40-something thousand miles a year.
A year.
And I pay like $80 because I bundled my car, home and auto, with Allstate. Of course, I listened to Flo, and I did it with Progressive, and then I went over to Allstate when I bought my new house, which was 4 years ago. The house at the time was new. It's like, no way that they'll save me more than Flo and Progressive, because they talk so much on the commercials.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Allstate was like 40% less.
Wow.
So I'm sure it's different for everybody, depending on what area of the country that you're in.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
because I went through an Allstate agency, they're able to say, you need this, you don't need this, is this important to you? If this situation were to happen, do you think you'd have enough money to cover this, or how much money do you think you need to replace that?
Oh, that's how they come up with all of that.
Right.
Okay.
So you're like, they'll look at your contents, they'll look at your deductibles, and just don't get caught up in the game of you're about to renew your insurance and they're like, hey, I can get you into a premium that's the same as what you have right now. And I know everybody's talking about premiums going up. Do you want me to find something for you, Grizzy, that's the same as what you have right now?
Yes, please.
And then when they do it, they raise your deductible in order to keep your premium the same. And then when the storm hits, you're like, I don't have $27,000
Yeah,
to
that's
pay
the
my
tricky.
deductible.
That's tricky. Yeah.
But you said it on record that you wanted the same premium that you already have. So some places you have to cut corners.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm not an insurance expert on what the pricing is, but it's just get to know your agent. And there's a couple people on here. I think it was Letty. Yeah, Letty Gonzalez says I work for an insurance company, and he's right. Letty might be a good reference point. She's a Hood News Pete, and she's listening to this conversation, so maybe y'all can reach out to her, and maybe she can help you shop around. I've got my guys, Ryan Treesh, Miguel Pavon, Gilbert De La Garza, DLG Agency out in Katy. Like, I have my guys that I turn my people over to, just depending on what their needs are and what they want.
I love how you shout out others. Like, Lance is always like that. He's always ready to.
Well, those are my people. Like, they send me jobs, and I send them as many people as I can.
Yes.
Margarita Flores, we got her roof done with you, and we sent her to Miguel. Okay. I don't know if she's called him yet, but I just called you out. But
awesome.
Sorry, Margarita. Blessings. But
yes.
No. Just you got to get that insurance lowered after you get that roof installed, because you're decreasing the risk and you're spending money out of your pocket.
Yeah, you got to.
So you got to lower that price as much as you can.
If you've had your roof already replaced with Lance and everybody, this is a follow-up Adulting Hour with Grizzy, man. We've got to get these things done. Yes, these are
your fiscal responsibilities.
Yes, your fiscal responsibility. Make sure to get that insurance lowered, because it is available for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of interesting things that can go on with the whole process. So save our number. Like I said, if you do get hit with a storm in the next few months, just let us show you the path and kind of walk you through it. I used to say this when I was just strictly in solar. Like, solar is a process that takes 6 months to finish.
Wow.
And you still need to assess how the solar works if you're a good solar rep. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months after. They should always check back with you to say, how is it working? Is it doing what we told you it was going to do? Which, with a good rep, it probably is going to do that. But I used to tell people, I'm like a stray cat. You can't get rid of me. I'm going to hold your hand through the whole process.
Oh, I love that.
And it's the same thing with roofing. If they're not going to hold your hand through the process, then be aware that they might just be chasing insurance money, and once you get denied, they might not have the means to fight it.
Yeah.
But when they see missing shingles on your roof, a lot of guys go, ha ha, cha-ching. I say it. Yeah. I go cha-ching. But when I say cha-ching, I'm like, This is awesome. Let's make sure that we give them the best service. Let's make sure we get a tarp on that house.
Yeah.
And make sure we don't
yeah.
make them sign a bunch of documents and make them nervous about everything. And sometimes we lose. Sometimes we lose those situations. Sometimes we're too nice. And they still go shop us around after they get the money, right?
That's crazy.
But in most cases, people are like, look, you've been with us and you've been good with us and fair and transparent from the beginning. And we do want to go with you. And shout out to all the roofers who are good to their people. Because, like I said, a lot of good roofing companies in Houston, and there's so much business to go around, especially if a storm does hit. So keep your roofer. Doesn't have to be me, but have your roofer on speed dial. Maybe have your AC guy on speed dial. If you think there's lots of lightning in your area, have your electrician on speed dial. Like, call those people first before you just look at stuff that's not working and instantly call your insurance.
Okay.
Because you could come back to bite you.
Yeah.
In the right cheek. I'm serious. And you don't want that, because now they're going to be like, well, you thought you had a problem, but you didn't, but we said it was pretty old and we don't know how it's going to react, so now you have to replace it out of pocket, even though we're not going to give you any money. So you have 3 months, and your ultimatum is we drop you from your insurance, and once we drop you, nobody else is going to pick you up because we dropped you, so you're kind of stuck with us. And then you're rushing for money, working overtime, doing whatever you got to do. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Friend, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
For those of us that got our roofs done, what should we be doing? Is there like a checklist? Is there something that we need to do to make sure our roofs are going to be okay for this upcoming weather? Or like, what should we be doing?
Like, you don't need to call your roofer to come check everything out. Like, the everything should be sealed correctly. But understand that almost every credible roofer in town is going to give you some kind of 2-year leak protection, 5-year labor warranty leak protection.
Okay.
Like, we try to give a 10-year at Triple C. It's written into our contract.
Okay.
So it should be written on your contract that you have labor warranty from all the major roofing companies in Houston. So it's kind of like, if you see a little leak or if you notice something, be patient with them in a time of storm and be like, hey, if you happen to be in my neighborhood, can you come check this area on my front left quadrant of my roof next to this such and such vent?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Next to that air hawk, or next to that solar out power attic power vent that you put up. Like, if you think you have a troubled area, they can stop by, put a ladder up, look at it for 10 minutes, tell you yay or nay, there's no problem. Wind-driven rain, there's ridge vents now everywhere. Ridge vents have been like the popular item, kind of like the cheap fix for like the last, 10 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And so the ridge vent just, it multiplies exponentially your space of the air being released stagnantly through your roof, right? If you have good soffits, that air just flows through that entire ridge instead of just through little stagnant vents, right? So instead of little 48-inch holes or whatever you have, 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, if the wind comes in sideways like it does during a major storm, right? Any vent that you have, any release vent, any vent on your house, water can get through those and can just trickle down inside. Water is going to find a way when it's consistently hitting in a spot. So those areas might get wet. You might see wet spots on your ceiling. But if it's not beating and if it dries up within, put a fan on it. If it dries up in a good amount of time, it doesn't continue to drip or look rotted out, you're going to be okay. It was just wind-driven rain. And we take those calls, but I don't know. Some roofing companies might actually have a better prognosis over the phone than us.
Okay. Yeah.
We just take the call and be like, yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
But if you have to have a clue of what's going on, and some people just don't, because some people are like, whether you're single or you bought your first house or you're elderly, you can't look up. Like, you're worried.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's going on.
Worried.
Something's wrong.
Yep.
It might not even be a roofing leak. It might be an HVAC problem.
HVAC.
So, because when that wind pressure is hitting your house during a tropical storm or hurricane, it's pulling everything in your attic.
Yeah, it's a scary time for homeowners. We're just like, I'm looking out for trees. I'm looking out for limbs. Now that I have my roof, I had to get it, like, a lot of stuff removed. I'm still having to work through like one tree in front of my house that's huge. And I'm like, some of those limbs need to go because, I want to take care of my baby, my investment. So yeah, for sure. Yes, friends. How y'all doing? Y'all still there with us? Let me see if Stephanie says, yes, you're right. How are you doing? So Pagan says, I still have tarps on my roof. I'm nervous every time it rains. Yeah.
That's something we can come check out for you. If you don't know who installed the tarp, it was just a door knocker. That's another buyer beware situation.
Okay. Like kind of like ambulance chasing.
Kind of like it.
Yeah.
Storm chasers.
Yeah,
but
storm chasers. That's
I'm not gonna. Storm chasing isn't an excellent way to like make new friends in your neighborhood as well. I don't know. It's a tough thing. There's some young go-getters, but then there's also some the older guys that do it the right way. I don't know. But don't sign anything.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't ever sign anything till you get 3 quotes. How about laws? I saw a story on Channel 13. This is a solar pertaining story, but solar roofing, it's all the same, right? So in the state of Texas, you have 3 days right of refusal to any contract.
Okay.
So Grizzy, you see me today, it's Tuesday, and I come to your house tomorrow and we sign a contract, you have Thursday, Friday, and then the following Monday, 3 business days to refuse my business.
Wow.
And if you give me a deposit, I'm supposed to give that money back to you.
Okay.
And don't let companies bully you around.
Okay.
If you're over the age of 65, you have 10 business days, 2 weeks.
Wow, they get more grace.
To protect you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody, like, talk to your grandparents, talk to your abuelas, talk to your older elderly parents, like, just...
The tias, yes.
Yeah, tell everybody, like, if they're going to get construction work done and they're going to get into contracts, like, to have you review it. And my daughter doesn't have time, right? Or my son doesn't have time. It's okay. You have 10 days, 10 business days. So if they talk about it, check up on them after a storm. Check up on them a month after the storm, right? Oh, yeah, I had somebody come out and look at my roof. I'm going to have to replace the whole darn thing and just oversee it, right? And just make sure everything looks good about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
There you go.
there's lots to it, and if you don't get your 3 quotes, don't sign anything until you get your 3 quotes. If you want to just get 2, that's fine as well. If you want to just trust us, you can. Like I said, my price is right there. It's $450, and I'm giving everybody a $2,000 Grizzly Hood News Peep discount.
That's right.
And it's what we do. So.
Somebody said, I knew that was Lance from Beaumont.
Who's that? Who says that?
Let me see. Sarah from Texas. That's the name. Sarah from Texas. And then, hey, La Vision Monet. What's up, friend? And then Cynthia says, yes, thanks. I'm listening and learning because I just built my first home last year. And Lord, I don't know anything. I don't know nothing about this. Yeah, that's true, friends.
Yeah, I see that, Cynthia.
Yeah, we're all learning together because, and the good thing is that we have a knowledgeable expert in our corner, so that's a good thing because I don't know anything either, and if I have questions I can always call Lance. And I called him. I said one day I saw like a brown wall, I thought that the plumber had messed something up because I had like a leak in my restroom. That's how it started for me, and it was like 2 or 3 months later. Then the retro hit, and then I was like, wait, I've got spots in like no. The restroom leak got bigger, and I'm like, man, I had a plumber go out there and they didn't see anything. Next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute, man. It was after Hurricane Beryl. I started seeing like spots in my hallway, and I was like, no, this is mold or something. It would wipe off, but I was like, no, there's something else going on. I called Lance, and sure enough, man, my roof needed repair desperately because it was an older roof.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, it's very important that. And we have a couple of these coming up. If it is an insurance claim, say your insurance was nice to you and they bought your roof, right? And you have some supplemental money that needs to come in, recoverable depreciation as well. It's important. It's not important. It's necessary. It's pertinent that your roofing company and the crew gives a bird's eye view, if not with a drone, then on the spot location, wide shot, wide angle lens of the holes and the damages and the rotting that they're tearing out.
And they gave me all of that. You guys gave me all of that.
So like you want to show where the damage was coming from that will also justify, well, yeah, they had that spot inside the house, so they need that sheetrock work and that paint work covered too, right?
Yes.
So like all that ties in together, and having that photo documentation throughout the process of the install is important. Yeah, we like the post pics. We like to say, oh, this is a beautiful roof. Who wants one of these on their house? But it's also important to show the ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Look, I got pictures. Look,
there you go. Oh yeah, there's the hole.
This is my house, y'all. Can y'all see this?
Yeah.
This is the hole by my restroom. This is where I had a restroom leak, like on my ceiling. It was horrible. It was horrible. I don't wish this on anybody, but like if it happens to you, you'll have Triple C Power Roof. Look at my roof friends. This is my house. They were at my house. Like, no lies. Right? And then they repaired this. Remember this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they repaired all of this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had bullet holes too.
You don't talk about all that.
Yeah. That's my house, y'all. Look at my old ass house. But yes, my roof is beautiful. My house is ugly though. But yes. I got a nice little roof, friends. That's in Scenic Woods. I live right off of Parker Homestead. So the guys were out there. Look at look, friends. They were doing all of this, and I was getting these cool pigs throughout the day. I was like, oh heck yeah, look.
Yeah, and we love doing that. Mm-hmm. Geraldine Felder. Mm-hmm. Hello, Grizzy and Mr. Roofer. My name is Lance Edwards. My problem is under the roof at the corner of my house. I guess I think they meant to say eaves or elves, but we see that too. We see on the eaves, like we see where that starter strip was not installed maybe 15, 20 years ago. The previous roofer just roofed over shingle. Even houses that had old wood shingles and they just did asphalt shingle over the wood and composite over the wood. We've seen houses where all the way around the perimeter, all the bases, all the eaves had rotted out areas. So we basically just had to cut like the size of this table, plywood all the way around, and just resurface that entire area.
Yep.
Then when we put the drip, the felt, the starter, all the stuff that needs to go underneath it to properly seal that off to keep the water from getting into it, it works out a little bit.
Yeah, I was so impressed with the work and you know the fact that none of my plants got killed. I didn't step on any nails, nothing. They didn't leave no kind of mess or anything behind. It was very professional, and I just loved it. It wasn't like, oh, we know Grizzy, so we don't have to do anything. No, they took care of me, friends. They were real good. And look at my roof, brand new roof on my house. Look at that. I love it. I'm so happy. Look at my roof, friends. Nice. I got a very beautiful roof now on my house.
So yeah, there's some cool designs. If you go to gaf.com, you can look at all the Timberline HDZ products. Like I said, it's a very, very good looking roof. I love the way that it does have the true high definition look to it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want the potpourri look, that's not for you with GAF. GAF has that like standard, stable, consistent feel to it.
Yeah.
But their roofs also they put out like different colors. Like,
oh, I know.
Like if you have weathered wood, like it looks brown on a rainy day, but it looks kind of grayish and earthy on a sunny day.
Wow.
And like the charcoal black, it looks black as night in the evening or when it rains, but it looks kind of grayish with like waves on it during the sunny days.
I love
the one we did for Genevieve Fernandez was a barkwood. Wow. So it looks dead brown if it's raining outside, but it has a golden dome feel to it in the sunshine. So like I said, it performs different ways with that high definition. The confetti looking roofs, if you want an Owens Corning or a CertainTeed roof or another product like Atlas, you know. It is what you want, ultimately is what you want. But we prefer to install who we're certified with. You know, other roofers will say, oh, yeah, you drank the GAF Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
right?
GAF Kool-Aid.
But I mean, we find it at a reasonable price point. I kind of want to talk about price just real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's just something I need to address that I went to a convention. I'm not going to say where or who threw it, but we all installed the exact same roof pretty much and the exact same products on every house in Houston. And it was a room full of like 80 awesome roofers offering different deals and whatnot.
Right.
And they asked one guy and another guy, do you think you have the highest price point in Houston or the lowest? And one guy said the highest and the other guy said the lowest.
Oh my goodness.
And they asked them, what are your price points? You go first. Or, you know, 1, 2, 3, go at the same time. And they were both at like $500 per square.
Wow.
So I've already told you that I do the exact same roof they're installing.
Yeah.
For $450 a square. And then the Grizzy discount of like $2,000.
Yes. Listen up, friends.
So, like, I know that even if it's a small 12 to 20 square house, even if I take that $2,000 off, you know, I'm beyond breaking even. I'll make a little bit of money off of that roof. But the people out there that have the huge houses, the 40 square houses, common misconception, a 1-story house typically has a bigger roof than a 2-story house, which is crazy. But you have more square footage in a 2-story house. Even though it might be bigger, the roof area is less.
It's less. That's very true. Yeah.
But, again, I make good money on the jobs. I don't need to charge $500 and then backtrack it, right? We're telling you what our price is, and we tell it to you up front here. But people always price shop, and they say somebody will do it for cheaper. And if they're doing it for cheaper than we're doing it, then they're not certified. They don't have a license from RCAT. a volunteer license from Marquette. 80% of roofers in Texas are not licensed. So just be careful who you're working with, that they're really going to honor your warranties. If it's a friend of yours or a family friend of yours and you know they've been roofing for like 20 years, 10 years, okay, maybe you can trust that. But don't just shop and battle price and thump price, because I'm telling you, my price is fair for what we sell.
That's good.
And it's obviously it's about 12% less than what the two guys that thought they had the highest and the lowest price points in all of Houston, right? They thought they had the highest and lowest price points in all of Houston.
Yeah. Look,
So,
that's
you
where
threw
you
some
follow
confetti on
friends.
me. You made it rain there.
Yeah. Look, I just put follow their page, so you can get updates. Oh, somebody just threw confetti.
Yeah.
I saw it right now too.
Yeah. I don't know who threw some confetti.
Who did that? How do y'all do that? Somebody
I don't
threw
know.
confetti on Lance. They made it rain on you, friend. I think this one you made the sign or
Maybe.
something.
We have
Yeah.
more. We have more stories. I had a guy that started last year but had to move out of state. Bought him some boots and some boards. I don't know. Yeah.
Somebody says, do you work in San Antonio? Also, do you give free estimates? These are good questions.
Yeah, I mean, I can connect you with a certified roofer from GAF in San Antonio, or at least somebody that's in my network. Matter of fact, I am partnering with roofing companies in all states and all cities to push our new solar fencing product, which we didn't really talk about much today.
Yeah,
That's okay
yeah.
because we're in hurricane season. But I'm actually distributing for Craftstrom Solar. So I have roofing partners in San Antonio and Austin and Dallas, even in Beaumont. Shout out to Coastal. So
How important is solar power? Like for those of us that have no clue or concept of
you ready
solar-
for this?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
I always shoot myself in the foot with too much information.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you solar in a nutshell.
Okay.
It's all about the price point of what you pay for electricity. And cash is king. If you finance it, it's obviously going to be a little bit more than what I'm about to say.
Right.
But 5 years ago, the average price of electricity in Houston was like 10 or 11 cents. Okay?
It was. Yeah.
Now, you go shop for it. If you don't have like top-notch credit, you're not going to find anything other than like maybe an Energy Ogre might be able to get you 13, 14 cents. Typically, people are paying about 18, 19 cents on average.
Yeah.
That's just the 5-year gap. So
Yeah.
the price increased, nearly doubled. Solar power financed on your roof is about 14 cents locked in.
Okay.
For the same amount of energy, it does the same thing. It just comes from the sun instead of coming from the grid.
Right.
My solar fencing comes in at 8.8 cents cash price. And if you get the tax credit that comes with it, if you qualify for it and you're able to cash that in for yourself and knock that off the price of the project, you're looking at locking in 6.6 cents for life.
Dang.
So again,
Yeah.
our fencing product, which can also be mounted on a roof if you really, really, really want to. That's the appeal of it, is you don't have to put it on your roof. And if you move in 5 years, right, then you can just take it off your fence, unscrew it, and take it with you to your next house.
There you go.
So our product is roofless, it's holeless, it's gridless, it's leanless, it's loanless. You can get a loan, you can put it on a credit card, you can pay us cash. Our most expensive solar fencing product right now runs about $14,000, and I have 5 dealers in Houston selling it,
Okay.
including us at Triple C.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm not even greedy about whether I do the job or I pass it on to one of my customers. I just want everybody to get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Because we want to promote this. At the end of this year, the tax credit's going away. Apparently, if the
Okay.
big beautiful bill passes, that 30% tax credit for residential solar apparently could go away. If it passes, now it could be repealed. It's not finalized. We don't really know what's going to happen. But let's just say if it does go away, right? Then the prices kind of still stay the same. You're still going to pay 19 cents, but instead of paying 6 cents, you're going to pay like 8 or 9 cents for my solar compared to 19.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right now, we can probably subsidize like 40 to 60% systems offset. So you're still going to have electric bill after installing the solar fencing. But as we develop new technology and as we start working with some of the best electricians here in the city of Houston, shout out Steve Wynn, Jose Flores, Ramon Villalobos, when we start working with those guys, we're going to get everything down. We're going to be able to put mega solar fences up on people's properties
Cool.
to offset maybe even 100%. But we're starting low.
Yeah.
We're only putting up about 4 kilowatts on a metal fence, 4 kilowatts of our solar on a bifacial panel on a metal fence is going to produce you about 10,000 kilowatt hours a year.
Wow.
which should be about 50% of your bill. Knock your bill in half.
All right.
So,
Free estimates? Somebody just
yes, free estimates for sure.
Okay, all the time. And then somebody asked, do you do metal roofs?
Yeah, John and Charles will get you squared away on the metal roofs as well.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So yes.
metal goes a lot to it. Metal is great out in the country because
Okay.
if you're in an area that's getting bombarded with wind,
And hail and that kind of stuff.
that metal comes in handy.
Wow.
Like in neighborhoods, you have other houses and trees and all kinds of things that are blocking you from the wind being just
out there.
brutal,
yeah.
right?
Brutal, yeah.
But if if you live in Belleville, you're not putting asphalt shingle on your roof, right? If you're on a ranch in Belleville or down in El Campo, where it feels like a hairdryer outside every day, 95 degrees with 30-mile-an-hour winds, it's like you're inside a Dyson.
Yeah. 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 Seriously.
How do I know about a Dyson? That right there. That's how I know about a Dyson.
Frank, now let me ask you this. What's your range of service? Because we got people asking for different areas.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we will do anything from Conroe, Huntsville, all the way down to Galveston, and then we'll go into Beaumont or at least assist somebody over in Beaumont, and then pretty much out to Sealy.
Okay, see, San Antonio.
Yeah. I mean, we could.
If there's
It depends on the
multiple jobs
need.
out there?
Depends on the need in San Antonio.
Okay.
But it's easier. It's easier for you and us both for us to just find somebody that we trust out there.
Yeah.
And like we're part of a network. Like there's so many roofers
Okay.
that I would trust.
Yeah.
And if you tell me that my shingles are ugly, like I have people that can show you different shingles and different brands.
Wow.
Like I think my installation's the best,
Yeah.
but sharing the love is not a big deal,
Okay.
right? So
Cool. Like
we
that.
know people. We have network. I always tell people outside of this that I'm Grizzly Hood News certified. But no, I also tell them though I'm also a BNI member.
All right.
So going into my 4th year with Business Networkers International.
All right.
So if you don't know BNI is a huge thing.
Okay.
Andrea on here keeps shouting us out and asking questions. I met her through BNI.
Oh,
if you need
that's
a
so
copier,
cool.
hit Andrea up. Dude, she sells these copiers.
Okay.
I think I pay what, like $119 a month or something to rent a copier for 3 years.
Wow.
And basically all my copies are like for the cost of the paper to me, which is like 3 cents.
Wow.
Go down to like
I-
FedEx office, like one of
Yeah.
these print shops, and you pay like 40-50 cents a copy.
Yeah, that's
Mine's
true.
3 cents or less.
Wow, that's good.
So-
Yeah, because you go through a lot of paper.
Yeah, all that promo material that we have. So
All right.
hit her up. She's representing me today. So
I see her,
I gotta hit her.
yeah.
I gotta tell y'all to hit her up.
Yeah,
Get
hit
yourself
her
a
up,
copier.
friends. Yes. So I'm here
All
with
your office needs.
I'm here with Lance Edwards from Triple C Power Roofing. We're just talking about, we're getting into those crazy seasons. The deadline's already up. We're past that, right? Like
Yeah. Well, your 1 year deadline for the barrel
For the
claims.
barrel claims,
Got about
yeah.
2 weeks left in that. And
Yeah.
so if you know somebody who was denied, that's a great reference for us. It's like our staff can come together and see if we can fight that claim. As long as that claim is made between the 1 year period of barrel hitting and July 8th, 2025, then that's considered an open claim. Even if you switched insurances because the previous insurance wouldn't give you the money that you wanted for that claim,
Right.
right?
Right.
You still open it and you still had them and you had them covering you during the time of that storm. So if you have those denial letters in an email or even printed, those are all great that can be used to help fight for you.
There you go.
And it's not your last chance. Matter of fact, tomorrow, our team, our legal team, there's a presentation. If you want information, text me. Say I want more information. I just want to sit in and listen.
Okay.
But yeah, Chidi and his crew, they're presenting tomorrow morning at 8:30. I have a Zoom call. If you want to be on that Zoom call, he'll be on there for like 10 or 15 minutes taking questions and showing people how he works his process.
Okay.
And so it's just all about, they break standards, they break contracts. You don't really know what's in your contract. Nobody has ever read a contract
No,
history
yeah.
of contracts, I don't think. There's some awesome lawyers
Yeah, that'll
that you
do it.
that you
Yep.
talk to every month. Like
Yeah.
they read contracts all the time.
Yeah, they get
But
they
other than like process engineers and lawyers and maybe a few doctors,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What do you call the guy in med school or lady in med school who graduates with the lowest scores in the class?
Oh, I'm afraid to answer that. What do you call them?
Doctor.
Oh my God.
You ever thought of that?
No, that's scary.
But no, shout out to the people who actually read their contracts and know
Yes.
know what the language says in them.
Yes.
And so oftentimes they'll find, TDI compliance issues. So whether you go through a PA, public adjuster, whether you take your insurance claim to appraisal to say, no, it's worth more than that. Or you get a lawyer to fight and take legal discourse for you, right? Whatever you do, make sure that they do it thoroughly and they do it to your liking and that they're really going to break down what's happening for
There you go. Yes.
So,
yes.
anything else? Let's see.
Gerlene says.
Thank you for the info.
Yes.
All right, making an appointment. You can also make an appointment on our website at triplecpowerroofing.net. And right there on the website, at the very top, it says book an appointment. So,
all right.
knock that out.
It's always so good to talk to you. Anything else you want to encourage our peeps, to get ready for the season? Anything you want to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you read your hurricane preps. Like, having just waters and Gatorades even, just room temperature sitting around goes a long way.
Yeah.
Load up on your ramen.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, load up on those things. Gas stoves do work. So if you have gas in your house or your neighbor has gas or someone down the street, right? And look, low voltage generators are just good to have. Like, if you can afford to go buy the $3,000 or $4,000 special down at Lowe's, pick one up, go get you a couple of 10-gallon gas cans, get some stabilizer, fuel stabilizer.
I need that.
Drop that in your cans. It'll
Yes.
make it good, even if you use it for mowing and weed eating and blowing your yard. Like, you can use that gas year round if you just keep it clean.
I'm stuck with that.
Right?
I have that situation where I have 4 different, I think I've got like 10 gallons of gas from Hurricane Burrow. And I checked the color. It still looks good. It doesn't look like it changed color. But I don't even know what to do with it. I don't even trust it. I got a brand new lawnmower the other day, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to use that on this.
Right.
What do you think I should do with that?
Maybe
My friends at
just
Bomb
waste
Squad
it.
might need it.
Just waste it away. Just
Any
use
Bomb
it.
Squad teams out there that need gasoline? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out.
No, I mean, look, some of the there's a lawn mowing company near my mother-in-law's house at Gessner and Clay that fixes lawnmowers, and there's like 500 lawnmowers out there every afternoon.
Dang.
It's like the guys drop them off in the morning, they get fixed. I'm sure it's like filtration
they
problems,
stay busy.
spark plug problems,
Spark plugs, like
and
little
just fuel
maintenance.
injector problems. Like, look, they'll go sell it to a landscaping company, your old fuel, and just make sure the next time you gas up that you put some stabilizer in it.
Yeah.
But no, just having those small items like that, we're gonna be able to talk in the future about simple battery backup. We have fire extinguisher looking towers from Craftstrom that are simple, portable, that can serve as battery backup for your home as well, backfeeding.
We might need to take a trip one day to Home Depot, me and you, and walk around and see some things like roof stuff, just different things. We might need to do like a pre-hurricane something walk through.
Sure. Hopefully we don't get hit between now and then.
I know, yeah. But if you do, you got Lance.
Richard says I burned my old gas in my truck. I mean, probably cleaner. Even if it's old in your garage, probably cleaner than half these.
Yeah, that's true.
These gas stations around the city.
Man, these gas stations are shady, man. I've had people telling me, Grizzy, I pump gas here, and I can't do anything because we really don't have proof. Do I believe them? Of course. But yeah, especially after flooding or rain, some of these gas stations take a hit.
So I'll tell you what, the generators, if you just maintenance them to the minimum, they'll last. I got one. So I lived off of a generator for 6 months after Harvey.
Wow.
I had 5 feet of water in my house.
Oh my
So it was
God.
gutted. And I was actually living in my cousin's camper.
Dang.
But I had a generator basically operating all the electricity in the house, the fans and everything, and lights. And so it was just a little crank up, quick push start generator. And barrel hit. So I sold my house in Beaumont, Club Larch, shout out, and rented it for a couple of years. And then that guy ended up buying my house. So I hit him up, the current owner of the house. I was like, hey, you still got that generator? He's like, dude, save me during barrel. So that old generator, like I said, the $3,000, $4,000 special at Home Depot or Lowe's, still worked.
Still worked.
Like 7 years later, 8 years later. So, like to tell that story.
Yeah.
They're valuable to have.
Yes, they are. I got me a little generator too.
So, you know it.
All right, then, Hood News peeps. Yeah, just remember, if you come to Triple C Power Roofing, they'll have you covered. They're going to ensure your home is secure and ready for the upcoming season because hurricane season is on the horizon. When does it start?
Hurricane season's June 1st, so we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it. Oh,
yeah. Pacific Ocean has already seen some action. Right now, I don't know if you've been sneezing the past week, but my house
I
is
have,
like
yeah.
that Saharan dust has been blowing through the Gulf. But, once the high pressure systems push out and you get a little low pressure around the Gulf, anything can pop up at any time,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So be on the lookout. The water's hot, and anything can happen quick.
Yes.
We've had hurricanes pop up in less than 48 hours, but I think our weather folks do a heck of a job.
Oh yeah.
Here in the city of Houston.
We already see like the alerts and all kinds of stuff. They're getting ready, and I think we have some really great weather people out here.
Next time Grizzly and Lance chat here, we're talking who's
might
your
make-
favorite meteorologist.
Yes, let's do it. Yes.
Let's see if we can get meteorologists to chime in during our session.
That would be cool.
So I won't ask you who your favorite is now, but we want to know.
That's it.
Drop it on
and
there.
there's some like rogue ones like that are independent.
Oh yeah,
I like some of those guys.
my AC guy thinks he's the best meteorologist.
Oh,
in
we might
Houston.
have to bring him. Yeah,
I think that's what he did. He did meteorology for the Air Force for 20 years, like that kind of stuff.
So he's an enthusiast.
Exactly.
All right, friends, get ready. More Hood News on the way. I'm getting alerts here and there. Please be safe, and I'll be seeing you guys out there in the streets. And yeah, thank you so much, Lance, for coming through.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. What's the phone number to call you?
832-520-1029 goes to me. My messages have been on silent. I know 2 people already messaged me, so we will get with you after
Yes.
this
ready,
broadcast
friends.
and return to your regularly
Yes.
scheduled programming.
Get ready so you don't have to. Be ready so you have to get ready. Like you really want to make sure to get this stuff out the way.
And again, that's the number one takeaway from this live today. If you're just now at the very end of it, I know people are starting to leave already. 60 people left, so that's a pretty strong count right there.
Yeah.
But if you've been listening the whole time, your number one takeaway from this is if you do have any missing shingles or loose vents and you just need a maintenance package on your roof, it's 15, 20 years old and nobody's been up there in 10 years, 5 years. Call us out. Let's get that maintenance package before the storm. Let's be preventative and not crying over what the insurance settles with us in the end.
For sure. All right, friends. Stay tuned, okay? More Hood News on the way. Thank you, as always, friends.
All right.
Such a pleasure to talk to you. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Get your roofs done.